Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Amy here. Today we're going to talk about some new releases in the month of November that have already been released. It's not many, but I thought I'd go ahead and talk about them anyway. For some reason, nothing was interesting to me in the month of November. I don't know what it was, but I did find like 7 books that that intrigued me. Don't know if I'm going to get them or read them, but they were interesting to me, so we'll talk about them. I poured me a little glass of white tonight. I'm not sure, I say tonight, it's more like this evening. It feels like later because it gets dark earlier. Of course it's not quite dark yet, but anyway, I'm rambling. I felt like a Pinot Grigio this evening, so that's what we're going for today. Very light and crispy. I don't know, I was just in the mood for something light. Cause the reds can be pretty intense. But anyway, moving on. So like I said, all these books have already been released. So we'll start with the earliest to the latest. So this one was released on November 1st. This is Her Perfect Family. This is by Teresa, am I saying that right? Teresa Driscoll. Driscoll? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I have read one of her books in the past, just one. It's called I Am Watching You. If I'm thinking correctly, let me, yes, I Am Watching You was one of her books. I read it a couple years ago, right when I first started, right before I started my booktube. I had read it, and I don't think I ever talked about it on here, but it was a really good thriller. So yes, this is a gripping psychological thriller from the best-selling author of I Am Watching You. The Perfect Family or The Perfect Lie. I don't think I want to read too much into this. I just think it has to do with maybe like a, I don't want to say domestic thriller. It's like a family drama type of psychological thriller. I think something happens to their daughter. So we're not going to go any further than that because I want to go into this blind if I do pick this book up, which I'm loving the cover. For some reason it's giving me bathhouse vibes. I know it has nothing to do with bathhouse, but I like the whole pink, black and white kind of thing going on. But anyway, yeah. This was released on November 1st. If you've read any of these books already, please let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it and if you think I would like it. On November 4th, Riley Hart released a new male romance. I think this is the first book in a new series. This is Off Limits by Riley Hart. This is part of the Secrets Kept series. This is book 1. It started out as a little fun. When there was a man in my building on a hookup app, why not message him? Only we didn't meet, we just texted, one night after the other, after the other. Good with his hands was the perfect escape from my life, where pressure was always on my shoulders, my father's expectations, the worry about my sister Maddie getting sick again and her husband Ryder suddenly back and volunteering at the same hospital as me. It would have been smart to keep my distance from the man who came out as gay, tearing our close families apart and breaking Maddie's heart. Except Ryder intrigues me. I like talking to him, same as I enjoy chatting to Good with his hands. They weren't supposed to be the same person. I wasn't supposed to fall for him, to want him, to need him. Maddie didn't deserve to get hurt again. And I didn't need another reason to feel like an outsider in my own family. Ryder was off limits. I knew that. Still, I couldn't make myself stay away. This sounds really good. I'm really excited about this one. Kind of like a forbidden kind of romance maybe. Like the sister's ex-husband, possibly. Sounds really good. On November 8th, we have another male romance. This one's by Brooke, BLAINE, and Ella Frank, 2 fantastic authors. This is Secrets and Lies. I wasn't supposed to want him, the bronze god lying by my pool in tight shorts that left little to the imagination. But I was only human, and with the temptation constantly within reach. It was only a matter of time before I could no longer resist. It was wrong, I knew that. He was my son's best friend. Whew, yes. But even worse, I was his teacher. Holy moly. This is gonna be really good. I haven't read the synopsis to this. I just saw that it was coming out and I had written it down. I wrote these down like a long time ago. I just never filmed it. But yeah, I love Brooke Blaine and Ella Frank. They've done a series before. What was the name of that series? I'll put it down in the description box below underneath the title of this book. But oh my gosh, it was fantastic. It was very, very steamy. And I have a feeling they are not going to let us down with this book. It also says Secrets and Lies. It's a standalone teacher-student male-male romance from these amazing authors, Brooke Blaine and Ella Frank. Another male-male romance that comes out on November 8th as well. This is Frat Wars by Saxon James. One of y'all actually brought this to my attention in the comments on one of my videos. I had no idea about this one. I wrote it down as soon as I saw it. I always write y'all recommendations down. And I saw that it was coming out in November, or it had already came out. So I added it to the list very frequently. But this one, it also says, I think it's going to be a series because it says Frat Wars #1, King of Thieves. We're basically Romeo and Juliet, but dudes, and without all the dying. Chad being VP of Sigma Beta Psi is wild. I get all the benefits of being in charge with hardly any other responsibilities. Parties, pranks, and frat politics. College life has never been sweeter until I meet Bailey Prince. He has the face of I don't want to say that, of an angel. I don't know where he came from or why I'm so obsessed, but I do know he's a Kappa and our houses have a rivalry that's written into legend. So it looks like we're gonna have two guys from different frats, and I guess it's against frat policy to date someone else from a different frat. I don't know. We're gonna get into it though. I'm definitely going to put this on my TBR. Getting back into mystery thrillers, this is The Secret Next Door by Rebecca Taylor. This comes out on November 9th. This says, how well do you really know your neighbors? Allison Tinsdale is giving her son the childhood she never had. A stable family, a loving home, and a great school in a safe neighborhood. Bonnie Sloan is the neighborhood matriarch. With her oldest son headed to Yale and her youngest starting kindergarten, Bonnie is now pursuing her own long-held political aspirations despite private family struggles. I don't want to read too much into this one either. I don't know if this is going to be like neighbor rivalry, but it just says fans of Lisa Jewell and Wendy Walker will love this fast-paced, engrossing novel that reminds us that nothing and no one are ever as perfect as they seem. So that's what I had read online, and that's why I wrote it down, because I love Lisa Jewell. I've read only one Wendy Walker, but I really liked it, so I was like, oh, let me write this down. But again, we're not going to get too much into it, but it came out on November 9th. Let me drink some more wine. On November 12th, we have The Widow by K.L. Slater. I've read a couple of her things in the past. Or no, I've listened to a couple of her things in the past, and I really enjoyed her. So when I spotted this, I just wrote it down. I have no idea what it's about. Let's see, it says, in life, he was perfect. Now she must face the truth. So I think this has to do with, of course, a widow. She must have lost her husband in some kind of way. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to read too much into it. If you like Gone Girl, The Girl on the Train, and The Wife Between Us, then you will love The Widow. And I've loved all those books. So yeah, just kind of scanning. It looks like maybe her husband wasn't who she thought he was, or It says, my husband was not a monster, no matter what they say. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. But that came out on November 12th. And last but not least, this will be coming out on November 30th. So one that's not out yet, and if you're interested in it, this is You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. She also wrote One of Us is Lying, which I have not read yet. But I keep hearing that it's, you know, not that great. But of course, we're gonna see for ourselves, or I'm gonna see for myself. Eventually I'm gonna read it because it's on my bookshelf right here. So it does need to get read one of these days. But this one sounded good as well. Ivy, Mateo, and Cal used to be close. Now all they have in common is Carlton High and the beginning of a very bad day. Type A Ivy lost a student council election to the class clown, and now she has to face the school humiliated. Heartthrob Mateo is burned out. He's been working 2 jobs since his family's business failed. An outsider, Cal, just got stood up again. So when Cal pulls into campus late for class and runs into Ivy and Mateo, it seems like the perfect opportunity to turn a bad day around. Except they've barely left the parking lot before they run out of things to say until they spot another Carlton High student skipping school and follow him to the scene of his own murder. We're not going to read any more. That's probably more than I should have read into, but anyway, yeah. It sounded really good, so I wrote it down. Like I said, I haven't read One of Us is Lying, so again, if you have read any of these books or One of Us is Lying, let me know in the comments down below without spoilers. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you think I'll like it, you know, let me know. But that's everything I saw coming out in November that really sparked an interest to me. There are some other books that I wrote down that came out in November, but I'm actually going to save those for another video. I'll be doing a Male Romance Christmas edition video on books that are either on my TBR, have been released, or are going to be released. So past, present, future kind of thing. Yeah, so I have some from last year that I still haven't read yet, and I have some that have just came out, and I have some that are coming out. So that'll be in a separate video. If you want to see that, stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up very soon for the Christmas month. Or if you like Christmas books, I like to read the Christmas male romances. They always bring me joy. So I thought I'd do a separate video on that. As always, thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you're all doing well out there. Hugs from me all around, and I will see y'all very, very soon in my next video. Bye, y'all.